Hello and welcome to Contemporary Nutrition. Let's get you acclimated with the information that you might need to help you succeed along the way. For example, what are the course logistics and how do I navigate the class within Canvas, which is our learning management system? Well, let me start by sharing my screen and then we can go from there. So, what I'm going to do is tell you all about contemporary nutrition. So, with contemporary nutrition, I'm your instructor. My name is Toni Marie Gist. And a little bit about myself. Here's my family. And so I got myself, my husband behind me, our daughter Melanie, Savannah, Clayton, and then the two pups, which are Oski, the closest to me, and Vegas, closest to Clayton. And so now that I've kind of told you a little bit about myself, we do ask that you share things about yourself during the semester. So hopefully you feel comfortable with that. So I have a passion for the sciences and education. I've earned a bachelor's degree as well as two master's degrees from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Go Illini. For the past 20 years, I've taught classes that focus on the effects of nutrition and exercise on the body. So I'm very passionate about how what you do to your body impacts your overall health and well-being. And so, as I tell you this, I want you to know that not only are you taking this class with me, you are taking it with my team as well. So, not only am I here for your success, I've got a team of individuals who are also here for you. If you want the most up to date reminders, you can subscribe to text message reminders. You can go into the course announcements on the first day of class and you can see those there. So you'll be able to subscribe to whatever text that you want to. You can also sign up for a one-on-one meeting with me through You Can Book Me. And so if you're unsure where that's at, you can either Google You Can Book Me and Toni Gist, or you can use this link right here. I'm also available immediately prior to deadlines. And by immediately prior to deadlines, I'll tell you what that consists of here in a second. So we want you to be super enthusiastic about taking this class because I know I'm really excited about teaching. Nutrition and what you put in your body is a very real and applicable topic. Like I've said to many students before, all of this, all the cells in my body, all my hair, eyelash, everything is composed of things that I put into my body. Because of this, I find it fascinating because there are very few subjects that are as impactful as nutrition in your everyday life. So the thing that makes it even more complex is if you go online, there's all these blogs and YouTube videos and individuals who are putting together TikToks. So we've got all these myths and misconceptions just floating around. So you need to be your own detective when it comes to understanding the science of nutrition. And this class, fingers crossed, hopefully will provide you the proper scientific information so you can make a data-driven decision that may impact your overall health. Just a little piece of information for you. Food helps you learn. Yes, it does. In fact, there's research that shows when you time your meals is going to have a quantifiable effect on many different things. For example, if you skip breakfast, and breakfast simply means breaking the fast. So if you have morning eating before you go to your classes or other things, it's associated with quantifiable, meaning measurable, negative consequences for academic, cognitive health, and mental health functioning. And here you'll see that we're referencing a peer-reviewed journal article on the topic. So we always want to make sure that you're using science and data to make your decisions. Excuse me for a second there. We also have a required student notes packet or textbook, however you want to put it. This is the one for fall of 2023. Every single semester, it has a slightly different cover. But I do want you to know that nutrition is a very changing field. It is something that is constantly morphing as we learn more information. With that in mind, my team and I strive to keep everything as up to date as possible. So every single semester, we have new video quiz questions, we have new assignment questions, we have a new semester project that is tailored to you as an individual, and we try to keep the cost as low as possible. We understand that people have digital fatigue, meaning they're not as excited about taking notes on computers anymore. They're sick of spending all their time in front of a screen. So we have this print version that's less than $50 at the Illini Union bookstore. So you can go and you can get it there. We also want you to understand what the class setup is. The syllabus itself is going to be the best place for an abbreviated, fast course setup overview. So we've got this 8-page syllabus that guides you through what you can expect in the class. A syllabus is similar to a contract between you, me, and the university. So I encourage you to look at the syllabi for every single one of your classes and understand what it is that's expected of your instructor and what is expected of you. You will note in our syllabus that it outlines the course objectives. So by the end of the semester, it is expected that you can list essential macronutrients, micronutrients, and sources, that you can explain and discuss functions of nutrients, that you can analyze a personal diet record. And if that's not in your best interest, we have an alternate assessment for you with that you're evaluating the validity of nutrition or health claims. You can identify nutritive and non-nutritive components of food that may protect you or prevent disease states. But the most important one, in my opinion, is that you are developing a lifelong love in nutrition and you're becoming your own nutrition detective. So please dive in, please engage with the material. Hopefully it's going to have a lasting impact on you as an individual. So it is a class, there are assessments. So what do those look like? Well, in each module, we start out by setting a foundation. We do this by putting together videos. You'll notice the videos are relatively short. The lipids and fats video is less than 4 minutes, and the proteins is less than 5. And so watch these videos. Then after the video, we have a video quiz. The video quiz is in Canvas, our learning management system, but it has unlimited takes. When you take it, go back and review which questions you earned 0 points on, and then make sure that you clarify those misconceptions and then retake it, because it's the highest score in Canvas that is recorded, which means that if we have a situation where you don't do well on your first take for module 6 video quiz, take it again and again before the deadline. Let's say you forget to take module 7 video quiz, which not so good, but it's also not the end of the world, because you can just drop the lowest 2 modules or chapter video quizzes. So because they're dropped, that won't have an impact on your grade overall. Only the top 10 video quizzes are going to count for your overall grade in this class. And even though they're due by midnight on Mondays, or again 11:59 p.m. on Mondays, we give you an automatic extension until Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. The reason we do that is because I want to be available personally to you if you have questions. So if you're needing a little more time, if you're stuck on one of those questions and you just can't figure it out, stop into my personal office hours at 9 a.m. through the Zoom link in our learning management system. And at 9 a.m., I can't give you the answer, but I can guide you through the learning process. And then you can have it done by the end of that automatic extension. No penalty, no problems, no other concerns. So we want to make sure that you're there for success. After that, we want to make sure that as we go deeper into the topic, that you understand the key terms and definitions that we will be using. So we have a definition inquisition. That is also due by midnight on Monday, or again, 11:59 p.m. on most Mondays. And each of the 12 graded modules or chapters contains a definition inquisition. These are application-based questions that are focusing only on the definitions, nothing else. And in your text, the definitions themselves are outlined so you can use those for reference. It's an open note assessment, and you're going to be testing using the definition inquisition with 3 takes. So you do not have unlimited takes, and we do have a larger rotating test bank. So we want to make sure that you do know those definitions pretty well, but it still is the highest score that is recorded, and the lowest 2 definition inquisitions will be dropped. Therefore, the top 10 will count towards your overall grade. So if you have a situation where you forgot about, let's say, the first chapter definition inquisition, just do 10 of those 12 definition inquisitions and you should be fine with your overall grade. And just like the video quizzes, if there's a question you're stumped on, save your definition inquisition and meet me in the virtual tutoring center at 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and then I can make sure I walk you through that process. We also have reflective assignments. So after you've taken your video quiz, done great on it, got 100% after you've taken it a couple times maybe, then you did your definition inquisition and you know the concepts as far as the key terms and definitions. And then you've gone through the lecture material with me either in person or online. We want you to reflect on the topic. We've got case studies in these reflective pages. We have short questions that apply to recipes. And we want you to then go into Canvas and share with us what you know. So each of the 12 graded modules or 12 graded chapters contains a module assessment as a capstone. So you're going to be tested using assignments in Canvas. There's only one submission for these reflective assignments. So make sure it's a good one. This is not one where you get unlimited takes. You do not get to see what you get wrong until after the deadline. So be sure before you hit that submit button. And keep in mind the lowest two chapters or lowest two module assignments will be dropped. So same exact situations before. If you get very, very sick in, around the time that chapter 5 materials are due, take care of yourself, focus forward, and just know that if you meet the constructs of the syllabus that allow makeup work, you can make up those materials with an alternate at the end of the semester, but we do want to give you ample time to focus on your health and well-being. So if you've missed something, we just drop it if it's one of the first ones that you've missed in that category. The top 10 reflective assignments will count towards your overall grade. And just like with the other things, I'll be there the next day in the virtual tutoring center, which means that I will be in the virtual tutoring center from 9 to 10 a.m. on Fridays as well. If there's ever a situation where I'm unable to be in there, I will make sure I have a seasoned team member in there available to help you, who knows what's going on and can assist you just as well as myself, if not better. During this nutrition class, we are also required to have you reflect on how nutrition impacts health, specifically at the national level. For this class to be transferable, we are supposed to be doing a semester project where individuals look at their own dietary intake and analyze it. However, just know that we've got you covered if there's a specific reason that you need an alternate. So we've got you. But with this 12-step semester project, we want you to challenge your knowledge of the material that we've covered and apply it to your own life. So the semester project is a dietary analysis project that takes you stepwise through a personal dietary analysis and reflection. You really only need 3 days of dietary analysis, and then you're going to be looking at those 3 days throughout the entire semester. But if you have any concerns at all, meaning a doctor has told you not to weigh yourself for whatever reason, that you have body dysmorphia, if you have disordered eating, if there's anything that has caused you to have a prior unhealthy relationship with food, or if you're currently struggling with your relationship with food or your body, let us know as soon as possible. We do have an alternate semester project in our textbook as well, and you can complete that because we are most concerned about healthy behaviors. And I just want you to know we're not against you. We are in this together and we're working together to make sure this class is transferable, meets all the requirements, but is also focused on your individual health and well-being. So if you need to meet with me, I have office hours throughout the semester and even during finals week. So I'm going to be available the hour prior to the automatic extension on the chapter or module materials to help with any problems, any last minute emergency questions. And that is one of the reasons we have the automatic extension. Students have said they want a midnight deadline. Okay, we got you a midnight deadline. But students have also said they want me available before the deadline. I love you all. However, I am not staying up till midnight every night. I get up really early to exercise, have some coffee, focus on self-care, take dogs for a walk. So I'm ready to start working by 7 a.m. With that in mind, I offer that automatic extension to the next day so that I can also meet your needs between 9 and 10 a.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays. So with that in mind, you have your deadline of Monday and Thursday at midnight. But if you want to meet with me and ask any last minute questions, plan on coming in between 9 and 10 a.m. During that automatic extension window. You could also find other times to meet with me through You Can Book Me, and I'm going to be posting about a in-person office hour time where you can come to my office, have a free cup of coffee, hang out with me, ask questions about nutrition, and more. So this all sums up to this grading and makeup work policy where we have a total of 1,000 points total during the semester that you can get if you don't do any extra credit, but we do have lots of extra credit as well. If you don't get the grade that you want, let's say you're shooting for an A, but you have 870 points and you were very ill during the semester. If you have documentation, we do have makeup work during finals week. And you may also wonder about our grading scale, and you might say, well, why is it that we don't have pluses and minuses in this class? Well, most students in this class worked very hard going page by page by page through their student notes packet or the text, making sure they have everything they need for success, and they earn 900 points before the end of the semester. Well, I know an A minus actually hurts your GPA. So I wanted to have a class that's going to be beneficial for all, because an A minus is actually a 367 on the GPA scale at the University of Illinois. And I'd rather make it where individuals, once they hit those 900 points, they know their grade is solid and they know they have that A, which is the highest GPA possible. If you want to work towards that A plus, it doesn't benefit your GPA, and it doesn't benefit most people who are applying to post undergraduate programs. However, those that are applying to law school, I hear that the A plus is weighted differently. So we do have lots of extra credit opportunities, and you would have to do those if you want to earn that A plus. So focus forward, trying to reach the goal that you would like. Just as a reminder, over 1,000 points is the A plus, 900 or more points is the A, 800 or more points is a B, 700 or more points is a C, 600 D, or less than 600 is an F. Please keep lines of communication open. I don't want to see anyone in that C, D, or F range if we can help it. Just make sure that you know that I'm here for you as you learn this material. And with that in mind, I do want you to know that there's a lot of room for success. Like I mentioned, we have many drop assignments, and we've got lots of extra credit points to help make up for anything you may have struggled with. We have lots of opportunities for questions. We've got a help discussion board. We've got a virtual tutoring center. We also have a situation where you can subscribe to remind text messages, and you can reply to those text messages. So you can text me questions. And like I mentioned with the virtual tutoring center and with my team, we are in this together. In fact, the virtual tutoring center is literally open Monday through Friday in the middle of a traditional workday. So normally it's between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. that we've got individuals in there. You can just literally click on the Zoom link on the left-hand side of our course page, and it will bring you in there. You can ask a question really quickly, and then you can get out. It's kind of cool that way. I love our virtual tutoring center, and my team fantastically manages it. And like I said, if you text me, I will try to get back to you in that normal business work week as well. We want to make sure you don't miss a deadline. Here's an example schedule from fall of 2023. You'll notice that before we dive into any materials that are graded and required on our, for chapter or module points, we do have what we call a focus on wellness. So during a fall or spring semester, it's a whole entire week where we're literally encouraging you to dive into not just our class, but other classes, registered student organizations, check out the campus, reflect on what it is you need. Let me know what you need. Let your other instructors know what you need, and share with us your thoughts on the topic. So that's going to happen a few different times throughout the semester, at times that are strategically placed when other classes might have major exams, or they may be piling a lot of information on you. We want to give you a little bit of a reprieve here, but we do ask that you submit some of those extra credit assessments during those focus on wellness times. And the reason being, we're tailoring this class for you and based on your feedback in those wellness weeks. So please help us help you and submit all the surveys that you can. Post on the discussion board if you're able, and reach out through email or anything else as needed. And like I said, with the wellness week, we do have extra credit submissions that you can turn in. And speaking of extra credit, if you get your textbook and you commit, not just, you get it and you don't commit, but I want you to commit right here. We've got a commitment saying that you are going to take notes page by page by page and tell us that you are going to engage with the materials, then we will give you extra credit. So acquire the note packet or the textbook prior to the first day of class if you can, but definitely before the end of the first week of class. Sign your contract telling us that you are going to take notes in each chapter and mean it, really mean it. And this is why the extra credit is due before we have that first chapter or that first module material. Take a picture of yourself with your signed contract. You can do it on the quad. You can do it in your dorm. Do it in a fun place on campus. I love reviewing those pictures. And submit it by the 11:59 p.m. deadline that's noted in Canvas. There will also be other pictures that you have to submit in Canvas from the packet later in the semester. And that's why we have this extra credit. So we can check to ensure you're ready to succeed. Because I know people with iPhones, their pictures that they take with their iPhones come up as an HCEI or some other type of file format that Canvas does not accept. So we want to walk you through that with this extra credit submission. Make sure you know how to convert things. Make sure you know how to do a picture submission for the rest of the semester. If you're somebody who thinks you have or you do have a disability that would require a letter of accommodation, such as dyslexia, if you have ambulatory issues, if you're someone who is colorblind, if you have a situation where you need help self-regulating, and so you might need extended time on things, please make sure you reach out to Disability Services. So DRES is going to help you out to acquire that letter of accommodation, and then we ask that you drop that letter of accommodation in Canvas. So if you click on the modules tab, and then you click on the accommodations folder, and then under there is a DRES Dropbox where you can submit it, and we'll make sure you're taken care of every step of the way. If you're a James Scholar and you want to do a project with us, we've got many different volunteer opportunities that require about 2 to 3 hours per week, and you'll be able to earn that honors designation. I've had students who are not James Scholars say, those look like some pretty cool opportunities. Can I do them as well? And the answer is sure. Just let me know you're not a James Scholar, but you would still like to take advantage of some of those opportunities, and we can have you sign up and we'll make sure that you're taken care of. But for the James Scholars, you will have to sign up and you will have to complete your honors contract learning agreement, get it signed by yourself, get it signed by me, get it signed by your college, and then I'm able to put that H or honors designation on your end of semester grade if you earn that A or B. And with that in mind, you have so many choices with your chapter 1 materials. You can go through it in person with me in Follinger in the middle of Tuesday and Thursdays. You can also, if you miss class in Follinger or you're in the online class, we've got ADA compliant videos that walk you through the material. So the only ask that we have is that you do take notes on those materials, and that you have a situation where you are able to reference them for your assignments and other things. So best of luck to you as you begin the semester.